Hey, rough cutters, it's Corey from Corey Brown Reviews. My camera kind of, was acting up a little bit. I wasn't able to do a video properly, so I thought I could at least come on the computer and do an audio review for you guys, a quick audio review. So this week is Friday, and I'm going to be reviewing The Fourth Kind. Now, I just recently picked this up on Blu-ray for $1 from Blockbuster. I wasn't really going to pick it up. I thought maybe I'll rent it at some point, but I thought for $1, what the hell, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Blu-ray. So I picked it up. It's the first thing I watched. I got like so many movies this weekend, and decided The Fourth Kind was the one I was kind of most intrigued in at first. The film is about Abigail Tyler, Dr. Abigail Tyler, or Taylor, played by Milla Jovovich, and at the beginning of the film you learn that her husband has died and she's going through a hard time, and right after her husband dies, her youngest daughter goes blind, and her oldest son blames everything on her. She's also a psychologist, and she has a few patients that are experiencing some weird things. They're seeing owls outside their windows, and they're pretty much being abducted by aliens while they're unconscious. And so when Dr. Taylor, I forget if it's Tyler or Taylor, but when Milla Jovovich's character puts them under hypnosis, they are able to recall their abduction, and so that's when some of the more creepier moments of the film arrive. That's pretty much what the film's about. It's about, her character trying to figure out what's going on and trying to put a stop to it all. And yeah, that's really about it. And I will admit, it's not perfect. I mean, critics have been bashing this film to shreds. I mean, I think it has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. And truthfully, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was perfect. I didn't think it was amazing, the best alien film I've ever seen. But I didn't think it was that bad. There was quite a bit that I actually liked about the film, but there was also a lot of stuff I didn't really like about the film either. One of the things I didn't really like about the film was, obviously this film tries to be realistic. It tries to show like, oh, this is a true story, and here's all the real footage of the film, side by side of the dramatization that's actually going on. And to be honest with you, I didn't really think all that really worked. I mean, it was kind of cool, and actually for a while before the movie came out, I actually thought it was real. But then when I heard it wasn't real, I was kind of disappointed. And for a while, I mean, for like the first half of the film, I was like, man, I really wish this was real because it would really be intriguing. But then the second half of the film, when things really start to go down, and there's like suicides involved and people getting injured and lots of really awful things, you're like, okay, I'm glad this isn't real. But the alien stuff was really quite intriguing, and the way that they did it in the movie I thought was pretty original. I mean, nothing groundbreaking, but I thought it was pretty original for what it was. I also wish that they would have showed a little bit more in the film. Like, they didn't really show too much. I don't want to spoil anything, and I think the quote-unquote real footage of the movie was actually better than the dramatization acting stuff. The real footage that they made look real, I thought was awesome. But it kind of sucked that they didn't really show too much. Like, they were about to show something really cool, and then the camera starts like fuzzing out because when the aliens arrive, then it kind of interferes with the electrical equipment. And I thought that was kind of a lame excuse not to show us certain things and to kind of stay a little bit under budget and try to keep it a cheaper film. But the thing about the film is that they try to do that whole thing of it's up to the audience's imagination of what really happens. And to be honest with you, I would have rather preferred if they would have just gone all out and just showed us certain things that we needed to see in order to make it that much more terrifying. But that's just my opinion, of course. But overall, I mean, I thought it was a decent film. I thought that the acting was superb for what it was. I thought Milla Jovovich, I love Milla Jovovich. I thought she was fantastic in this movie. It's probably one of her better dramatic performances. I thought she was great. I thought the cinematography was fantastic. The cinematography and the atmosphere is just phenomenal. I mean, you couldn't really ask for much better for a movie like this, and it looked fantastic on Blu-ray. I mean, if you are a fan of The Fourth Kind, I would highly recommend picking it up on Blu-ray. And the film, while it wasn't really scary, it was more of a drama. I was surprised. I mean, I thought it was going to go into it. There's going to be jump scares, left and right, left and right. It had some creepy moments, and it had a few little jump scares, but nothing too much. There was one scene in particular that I just loved. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. There's a scene where it's showing the quote-unquote real footage of Abigail Taylor Tyler, who Milla Jovovich is supposedly portraying. And it's showing the supposed real footage of her actually being abducted by aliens, and she's speaking this weird language, and she's like rising above the couch. The way that they do it with the supposed real footage, I thought was just awesome. And the scene where she gets abducted under hypnosis was by far the best scene of the film. I mean, I wish more scenes of the movie could have been like that. And also the soundtrack was fantastic as well. The final scene where it's saying, what happens to each supposed real person after the events, and it's sweeping through the mountains and the forest, and it kind of has this beautiful and ominous theme playing in the background. I thought was great as well. I mean, like I said, there was a lot of things I liked, but there was a lot of things that were not so good as well. But it's a middle of the road movie. I say if you're a fan of the alien genre, if you're a fan of Milla Jovovich, I say it's definitely worth a rent. I wouldn't recommend going out like buying it, but if you're a fan enough, I would definitely recommend going to Blockbuster or Redbox. Give it a rent, see what you think. So that was my quick review of The Fourth Kind. Hope you all enjoyed, and until next week, Corey from Corey Brown Reviews. See y'all later.